They said it couldn't be done. Starting a cafe with just $2,000 in 30 days. Crazy, right? But what if I told you I not did it, but turned that dream into a successful business? In this video, I'm revealing the exact steps I took to defy the odds. From scrappy beginnings to a thriving cafe. Whether you are dreaming of starting your own business or just love a good underdog story, stick around, because if I can do it, so can you. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the real cost of opening up a cafe and why my $2,000 idea ballooned into $40,000. Let's rewind. Last week, I dropped a video showing you how I went from driving buses to owning a business. If you missed that video, there's a link in the description. You can go watch after you finish this video. I wish you could have owned your own place with just $2,000 in your pocket. But if you're watching this from UK, I only had like £1,500, which is equivalent to $2,000. It was really hard. I didn't know it was going to cost me so much money to open up a shop. But yeah, here I am, sitting down in my own shop as a business owner, and I'm talking to you right now. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. I don't think anyone has ever shown you how much it actually costs to open up a cafe. But here I am today, I'm going to reveal everything and how much it actually cost me to open up this cafe, which wasn't what the price of what you're thinking. It was much less. So stay to the end and find out how much it actually cost me to open up this cafe. When I had $2,000 in my pocket, which is £1,500, it seemed like an impossible mission. I started it anyways because I had to change my life. I got a big announcement coming up in the future, so subscribe so you don't want to miss that. I'm not going to reveal it right now. It's going to come later down in the coming months, so stay in tune for that as well. That was the main reason why I wanted to own my shop. Of course, for the financial freedom too. When you have limited money, the things you can do is very limited, but it made me think outside the box. I've done my research and I plan to open up a cafe, and I wanted to do specialty coffee too. That's why I have a really good coffee machine in the background, as you can see. The first thing I did with my £1,500, I went and got lessons to make proper coffee. Here's a little clip of me tasting different coffees and making coffees as well. It was really fun. That was the first thing I ever did to start this business, and that cost me £500 just to get those lessons. But it was well worth it. Now I can make really good coffee. If you ever decide to come to my shop, the address is on the screen right now. We are in Nottingham. You can always come taste my coffee and have my breakfast. I think we do the best coffee and best breakfast in the town. Oh well, you can come and try our coffee and breakfast and you can tell me. I cannot tell you how great it feels to sit down in my own cafe. I was in your shoes once as well. I had no experience, I had no idea what I was doing, but in the end, here I am sitting down here, which is great. In this life, nothing happens without you taking that action. So hopefully this video will motivate you and encourage you to start your own business or whatever you have in your mind. Don't worry, I'm going to reveal everything. I'm going to reveal to the exact penny on starting this cafe, which is Paradise Cafe. So if you have a dream like this or something similar, you know how much it's going to cost you, or you will get a similar idea. When I started my journey, I wish there was a video like this. Someone shows actually how much it costs to open their own business. Let me tell you how big my shop is. I have only 6 tables and a bar area. It's a really small shop. I can fit like 24, 25 people, which is not really that big, but it is enough for me. I like it. It is cozy to work here. I like the place. I like the location. I like the area that we're in. One really important thing I can tell you is if you want to start a physical location like this, make sure you do a good location research, because it does really matter. That literally goes to anything you want to open up. You can open up a right thing at the wrong location, or you can have the right location and the wrong thing. Do your research properly, walk around that area, know your audience, know what you're going to sell to who, then you can decide your mind from there. That literally goes to the same thing on social media. If you want to sell anything on social media, you have to know where you're going to stand and which audience you're going to appeal to. And now I'm going to cut the crap, show you how much it actually cost me to open up this business. I got my trusty whiteboard here, and I'm going to start writing all my expenses that I have paid cash. The biggest cash I spent on was the rent, of course. So I got a deal with the landlord. I spoke with him and I only had to pay him. So let me just write it down here for you guys to see it as well. So this is all the cash spendings. So this is all the cash spendings that I'm going to write down here. First of all, rent. So in total for the rent, I spent £4,539 and 12 pence. That's how much I had to pay to get the keys for the shop. That was literally the biggest spending I had. I never paid that much money to someone else before in my life. That hurt a lot. So we go on to the next one. On the list we have is the interior. By interior, I mean paints for the ceiling, paints for the walls, little small bits for the worktop, the clocks and whatnot, all the little things you see in the interior. This is how much I spent, so let me write it down. Interior. So for the interior, in total, I spent £648 and 25 pence. This is how much I spent for the interior. How is the color, guys? You guys like the color of the interior? I don't know if you remember from my last video, my wife picked the color, so everyone likes it. I love it too. So yeah, the next spending was the equipment, like the griddle, the fryer, the fridges, the bar fridges and whatnot. On them, I gave, let me write it down first, equipment. On them, I didn't give the full money at the beginning, so I just only paid the little deposit. It's like I got a loan from them, paid the little deposit, which was £400. That was very cool of the guy, so he didn't take all the money. I only had to pay him a little deposit. Next on the list is the uniforms. I got like t-shirts, aprons for the chefs, and apron for the waiters as well, like the small aprons. Let me write it down, uniforms. And on the uniforms, I paid 161.18. That's how much I spent on the uniforms. I think I got 5 t-shirts, 4 aprons. What did I get? Yeah, I think that was it. That's how much I spent. And next, we go on to the sign. You have seen the sign. I think it does look nice. Also, we have a sign in the interior as well. That one is really cool too. For them, I had to pay a little deposit as well. In the beginning, I gave him £500. That was £500 for the sign. Don't worry, I'm gonna tell you guys how much I owe in total as well, but first we're gonna do the cash spending. Also, I had to send money to the business account too. I'm gonna write that as an expense because I paid in cash. I'm gonna write business account. I put £800 into the business account. And next is the supermarket. Done like a little shopping, like the small bits and pieces from the local supermarkets. For example, Poundland, Asda, Lidl and whatnot. Supermarkets. The whiteboarders keep moving. On the supermarkets, I spent £58.88. Grand total was £7,108.03. That's how much I spent in total in cash. £7,108.03. That is how much I spent, but there is of course more. I didn't open this shop for this price. This is how much I spent cash, so technically I opened for this much anyways. And trust me, it is not a lot. If you go ask people around you, or if you know someone who owns a shop or anything, you can ask them. I'm sure 100% they spend more than 7,000. And I think that's a good price. So let's cross a line here. Sign. The sign in total was £1,900. This is how much it cost me to get the sign. Next up, the equipment. For the equipment, including the tongs, like the knives, the boards to cut the things on, I don't know, like the little bits and pieces. In total, that cost me £2,656.50. That's how much it cost me. So I still owe money to these people. Remember, but I paid some little deposit against that, but yeah, but I still owe money to them. The next is the coffee machine and the grinder, and that was a huge loan, trust me. Before, when I was thinking to open up a cafe and doing proper coffee, I didn't know how much the coffee machines were. I don't know if you can see. We got La Mozoco. It's the best of the best coffee machines. So this is like a Rolls Royce of the coffee machines. That's what I call it. Anyways, and we got a grinder. It's called Malcoin, something like that. So they're the best of the best. In total, coffee machine. In total, including the fees of the loan and whatnot, it cost me 11 grand. Yep, you heard it correct. £11,000. That's how much it cost me to get just these 2 coffee machines. Can you believe it? I couldn't at the beginning, but yeah. And plus, I had to get some coffee as well, where I got my coffee machine from. For the coffees and for the installation of the coffee machine, I paid £1,000. Of course, I paid the £1,000 when this shop started making money. They didn't ask in the beginning, so they gave me some time, but I still owe money towards the coffee machine and the grinder. And next, we have the plates. Cost me £975. That's how much it cost me. And next, of course, to start the shop and get it running, I needed some stock. When you want to open a shop, if you're starting from the scratch, the most money towards the stock you're gonna pay at the beginning. Then of course you're not gonna pay that much at one go anyways. I owed them exactly £1,000. That's how much I owed them. Let's get the total of this as well. The grand total of the money I owe is £18,531.50. This is how much I owe. You see the difference? I have a partner, so I didn't open the shop on my own because I didn't have enough money. And he done some spending as well, which I'm going to write down here. By partner, I mean my business partner. So my business partner, let me write it down here. Also, he had to pay some money towards the equipment, to the tables and the chairs. He paid some money towards little things as well, same as me, literally the same spendings as me. So we both paid cash together. So he bought stuff, I bought stuff. His spending was cash, £7,108.03. So that's how much he spent. So these are the spendings that we done to open up the shop. It is a lot of money. When I started this journey, I only had like £1,500 in my pocket. In the end, I couldn't believe how much it cost me, but yeah. And you know what? I managed to find the money, pay all the people. What I learned during the way is, guys, if you have a dream and you start following it, it's just things happen, things fall into places and you start finding ways, finding solutions. That's how I think the world works. If you have any dreams or plans to do something, just start now. Trust me, on the way, you're gonna find many solutions. But now, let's go into the grand total. Grand total to open up the shop, including the cash and the money we owe to the people, is £32,747.56. This is how much it cost us to open up the shop. Nearly 33 grand. Well, you might think, well, that's a bit too much, but trust me, it is not. I think it's a really good price to get the shop started up and running. This was a hell of a journey. It was something I never experienced before. It was well worth it. Now I am my own boss and I get to do the things in my own way. I don't work for someone else anymore. I work myself all the time now, which feels really great. I cannot explain this feeling to you. And if you have a dream like this, hopefully you will get it done too. Just don't be lazy and start taking action today. Along the journey, you might struggle with things, but don't worry, you're gonna overcome all of them and you're going to be successful. Trust me, if you have a dream, passion towards something, in the end, it always happens. Make sure you never quit and follow your dreams. Don't forget, you're not a loser until you quit. So if you don't quit, there is no problem. But yeah, it is a bit too much money when you don't have any money. Yep, you've seen it. It's nearly $40,000. That's how my $2,000 went straight to $40,000. I didn't know there was that much hidden cost, but yeah, it is what it is. That's how much I had to spend. That's how much it had to be done. We did it, and now we're here. Promise me one thing. After you finish this video, make sure to start an action. It could be doing research, maybe going around asking people for money towards your business. It could be anything. Literally, it could be anything. My advice would be, don't waste any time, because time is working against you, and you don't have that much time. You need to start doing something and you have to do it now. Otherwise, you won't get the things in the life you wanted. Subscribe because you don't want to miss the next episodes that are coming up. Until then, watch the previous video on my channel and I will see you next week.
MrTasar made another video. If you liked it, press subscribe down below.